basically said that they wanted to do was have more debate and discussion with students from around the world, students and young people from around the world. One of the big issues is China, and one of the big kind of things that people say about climate change, we're never going to solve climate change with the Chinese and growth in their industry in China and their carbon emissions. So what we've done is we've hooked up with Open Democracy. Who's heard of Open Democracy? And they're running a project called China Dialogue. If you switch to page 10 of this. Basically, we're trying to encourage a discussion and a debate between UK students and students in China about climate change and how we tackle the issue. It's a really sensitive issue, China, and use of the internet and the censoring and all that sort of stuff. So it's been a bit tricky to get it started, but basically the website is ChinaDialogue.something. I think it must be on there, and it's translated. It's basically articles written by Chinese students and UK students, and the articles are translated into both Chinese and into English. And so a student writes an article. There's an article out there at the moment by a student who's involved in People and Planet in the UK. And then it's a chance for young people like us to actually have a conversation about what to do about climate change. So go to the website, have a look, get involved in the debate and discussion, because I think that's like a really good way of building a grassroots movement. And actually, coincidentally, the student who we've got an interview with in this newsletter is actually involved in solar generation in China as well. So it's all linked together really nicely. So that's the first thing, like a bit of like an online connection with students around the world, start to get a debate and discussion going about how we can tackle climate change. The second thing that a lot of people are interested in is like actually group twinning, so actually pairing up groups from the UK with a group in Africa or a group in India, so that they can actually like communicate with each other, share ideas, tell each other what they're doing, get involved in lobbying, that sort of thing. So we haven't got very far with that, but we're probably going to run a pilot project next year about how we can actually get groups like the ones who were involved in connected directly with another group in a different country. Because you know, like towns, Agnes was saying earlier, like cities are like paired up with other cities in other countries. A lot of your universities have like a partner university in another country, so we're trying to like pair up like campaigning groups from the UK with other universities across the world. The other thing that was really popular was the idea of doing joint campaigning actions. So like us all taking action in our universities and colleges in the UK, like doing it at the same time as other students around the world. And we thought a good opportunity for this would be the December night of International Day of Action, when maybe, like, I don't know, if we've got time, we can have a discussion about that at the end, about like, the sort of things that you guys think we could actually do to like connect everyone together. We're thinking we could have us all doing a local action, connecting them together online, getting those videos on YouTube, like kind of a way of like generating an international movement without us all having to be in the same place at the same time. The other thing is that we really want to try and get more international students involved in campaigning groups in the UK. Again, that's a work in progress. And the other thing is skill sharing, just meeting together and actually sharing our ideas and our skills like in person. So opportunities coming up for that are the G8, which I just mentioned. We're running a student skill share in Rostock in Germany on the 4th of June. So there's going to be a contingent of People and Planet folks going in for that. If you guys are free and want to come and join us, then that would be really cool, and you can get in touch with me. There's actually it's on the same page. There's a column on the G8 in that newsletter, so you can get in touch with us about that. And also we're starting to invite students from other countries to People and Planet events in the UK. So, for example, our summer gathering, which is our training event for like key group organisers in the summer, and we've invited like 10 students from other countries to come along and share their ideas that actually get connected in with student campaign in the UK. We've got a student from China coming, definitely. hopefully some students from France and some from Germany coming already. So again, it's another opportunity just to start making those connections, start getting those ideas going. So that's what we're trying to do on the international front. Just to give you a flavour, and hopefully we can maybe work up some of those ideas, see what interest you guys have in those a bit later. And just quickly, in terms of what People and Planet is doing at the moment in the UK, who's heard about the Digital Development Campaign? You have. Cool. Would you like to take those and pass them around? Basically, this is our campaign to get the UK government to stop funding fossil fuel extraction projects being developed in the Global South. Basically, via the World Bank, UK aid money is being used to fund fossil fuel extraction, which we're arguing is a massive contradiction, because the stated aim of the Department for International Development and our aid money is to alleviate poverty, and we're making the argument that putting fossil fuels out of the ground, burning them, causing climate change, as well as those other local social issues, isn't contributing to poverty alleviation. So that's that campaign. If you want to join, you can sign the cards that are through there. And we're taking that international as well, beginning with agianst and the solar generation at the recent Asian Development Bank meetings. We've basically been stalking Hilary Benn, and we've got a quote from him recently going, "People and Planet, you're everywhere," which was quite exciting. But it was unfortunate that he didn't actually go himself to the meeting in Kyoto, because we wanted to get some Asian students to meet him there with People and Planet Band. So, but some of his representatives were there, and so he knows that basically we're not just in the UK, but because we're looking up with solar generation, we're kind of following all over the world. So it actually has a really positive response from them about that issue, and some good progress. Next steps on digital development, we're looking possibly at targeting the Royal Bank of Scotland in the UK, who actively promote themselves as the oil and gas bank. I've got a report here, if anyone's interested, on the Royal Bank of Scotland, their involvement in financing climate change. Royal Bank of Scotland own NatWest, so that's a really easy student target. So there's a possibility of doing something next year targeting them, although I haven't really worked out that idea properly yet. And the other exciting thing going on at the moment is on our Go Green campaign, which is our People and Planet's national campaign to clean up the environmental performance of universities. We're producing a league table of universities. It's going to be published in the Times Higher Educational Supplement in June. All the universities in the country will appear on that table, ranked basically in order of how green they are. We've basically put in a Freedom of Information Act request to the Higher Education Funding Council for details about carbon emissions of all the universities in the UK, how much waste they recycle, how much green electricity they buy. We were successful, we've got all the information, we've got a lovely spreadsheet which basically says how green each university in the country is, and the Times have agreed to publish it for us in June. So it's going to be a really big thing. Universities, they're all over the league tables, they're all going to be at the top of all of them. So that's going to be a really big thing. We're hoping for a lot of reader interest. We've got those already. So around the start of June, look out for that, and that's a real opportunity that you can actually start putting pressure on your university to clean up their environmental performance, because we're really going to start naming and shaming those that aren't doing a very good job. So look out for that. 7th of June is going to be published in the Times issues. I'll stop rambling, and I'll hand over to who will go next. Just to cover a bit of sort of local campaigning and what we're doing.
Hi everyone, I'm Louise. I'm actually from the LSE. I'm involved in an awful lot of platforms, and I'd like to talk a little bit about it. Just feeding on from your talk actually, we met Hilary Benn. He came to do a talk here at the LSE, and People on Planet, of which I'm the treasurer, here at LSE, and did quite a large demonstration, sort of said what you're doing about this, and what you're doing about AIDS, and what you're doing about that, and he was like, oh, a little bit overwhelmed, and he's not been back since. Yeah, so basically, I think it's really important that students realise that you can make your school listen to you, and you can, like, it's your university, that's the reason why lecturers are employed.